how well you can relate to dating a woman with kids. Well, I got some interesting perspective on the topic. How well do you relate when trying to date a woman with kids? Now, people, I'm going to tell you something. First, I want to say thank you for sitting in with me tonight for this edition of Relationship Radio. You guys could be anywhere else in the world, but you decide you wanted to hang out with me, and I definitely appreciate that. That's first. The second thing I want to say is I got some information that I'm going to play for you. I got a video that, in fact, I want to narrate over. And people, I'm going to tell you this topic from my perspective. And then I'm going to let this woman of color talk to you about trying to relate to a woman that has kids. Well, first of all, and let me explain something to you like this. I just decided to come at it this way at the last moment. When you have a child with a woman and that child does something, you and that woman, I'm talking from a men's perspective. When that child acts up, the mother normally console with the father about taking some type of action to rectify the situation. People, this isn't the case when you're dating a woman and the kids are hers. When you're dating a woman and the kids are hers, you're nothing more than a side piece. You're a sideshow. You're you're basically a cell phone plan without a cell phone. You're basically a car with no gas and you got to get to work. I'm talking to you fathers now. You have no words. You have nothing to say. Consoling with you about the problem is an option. She, in fact, doesn't have to do that. And most oftentimes, they don't. These women, they'll sit back and they'll say, excuse me, they'll say, these are my kids. And even if she doesn't say that, that is an option. And the unfortunate thing about it, if she doesn't say it, you best believe you'll hear it from the children. You'll hear this from the children. So when you hear this from the children, that's an extra kick in the teeth. You have children that will say to you, you're not my daddy. I personally never had that happen to me, but I will tell you this. I had a woman ask to marry me before. And that woman, when she asked to marry me, I declined. And I declined because that woman had kids. And it wasn't the fact that I wouldn't date a woman with kids. The fact of the matter is this woman didn't have her kids in order. She did not have her house in order. This woman allowed her children to do whatever they wanted to do. This woman had absolutely no control over her house. None. Not even a little bit. She had no control over her house. Now, when you're trying to deal with a woman that have no control over her house, adding you to that equation is dynamite with a very short fuse around a bunch of candles. Catastrophe is inevitable. It's not a question of if. It's just a question of when. And in all cases, they happen sooner than later. People, what I do for a living, I can tell you the multiples of stories about individuals that was in a situation that their children, or should I say their stepchildren, or the woman that they were dating, children, the circumstances that they put them in, even when the man is cleared, the consequences still can haunt them for years later. The accusation alone is damaging before we even get to the court date, before we even get to the court hearing, before we get to the verdict. It's detrimental, damaging to the highest power. Welcome to Relationship Radio for August the 10th, 2017. I appreciate you being here. I do this thing every weeknight from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I definitely appreciate you for being here. What I'm going to do now, I am going to play this video that I want you to hear. I want you to hear this video
to Alltech Lansing
because it's extremely important. Now I'm going to come narrate through this video, and you
are now paired. Enjoy.
You could please listen and understand that this, in fact, is a woman of color. And she, in fact, is dropping some serious allegations about what you should not do when it comes to dating. This woman is basically saying, in her own words, that the unfortunates of dating a woman with children may not be such a good idea. May not be such a good idea. People, I'm going to tell you, before I start this video, I'm going to tell you something that I, from the heart. Two things. Number one, single moms will never be able to put you first. And because they will never be able to put you first, there in fact is no way you'll be number one with that woman. As I stated earlier, these women console with their children. If something happens with their children, you're an option. If we were talking about the biological father, she would then, chances are he'd be boxed out because he is not the custodial parent. The mother is given full power. That's another story. So these women will like to say to you that my children are my everything and they come first. That is a slap in the face. That is a hawk spit in the face. You don't have to say that. And after that, every man should follow up with, well, my dog and my mom, and then the players at my racquetball club, they all come first. Because that is a detrimental statement. That's just number one. And number two, personally, time. To put in 24 hours with a woman with kids will probably take you 6 months. If you was to add up all the time of dating a woman with a child, it'll take you 6 months to equal up to 24 full hours. They always talk about things they have to do with their kids, their kids. They always talk about how their kids are first, which is bull. People, we all need to make a living. That is first. So I'm going to play this video, and I want you guys to listen in.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Please hit that subscribe button, like and share, and also feel free to drop a comment. Excuse my appearance. I'm just coming from the gym and I know I look a hot mess. But anyway, I came across this article today, which I will share with y'all, and it's about dating black single mothers and why men without children shall or should avoid them. And a lot of these points kind of piss me off, but a lot of them are actually true, especially dealing with black single mothers who don't have like a main support system. So let me just get to the article. It says,
Before she starts, I would truly want to commend this woman for basically narrating this thing to us. And I say that because this woman, to me, executed this well. I'm looking at the video. Of course, we are on radio, so you can't see me. But the facial expressions on this woman watching this video is she really was fighting back some emotions. I commend this woman. I'd marry this woman just by her doing that alone. I commend this woman. And I truly appreciate the fact that this woman did this video. I really do. I really do. People, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the rest of this video to watch. You can catch the full and the entire episode of Relationship Radio on the Blog Talk Radio Network. I will leave that link at the bottom of this video, y'all. Get on over to Blog Talk Radio and subscribe to me there and subscribe to my video channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate it. Relationship Radio. I'm your host, Troy.